Sometimes the biggest hits in music history weren't meant to be hits at all. They began as jokes, studio pranks, or ideas so ridiculous that no one believed they would last more than a few days. And yet, somehow, these strange and completely unexpected songs didn't just survive. They conquered the world, topped the charts, shaped pop culture, and became unforgettable anthems for entire generations. Today, we're counting down 10 silly songs that shockingly became global hits. Number 10, Surfin' Bird by the Trashmen.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird.
Chaos didn't just inspire this song, it defined it. In 1963, a rough garage band from Minnesota accidentally fused two unrelated rhythm and blues tunes during a live set, shouting nonsense, pushing the tempo into near collapse, and turning the performance into pure, uncontrollable noise. Nothing about the moment felt refined or important, and no one expected it to survive beyond that single night on stage. Yet the raw energy captured something impossible to ignore. Once recorded, Surfin' Bird burst onto radio waves, climbed the charts, and became one of the strangest breakout hits of the 1960s. Surfin' Bird. Its frantic screams and relentless rhythm echoed through movies, television, and future generations of rock fans. Sometimes the most absurd sound in the room becomes the one history refuses to forget, and this was only the beginning. Number 9. Axel F by Crazy Frog. Few global hits have ever sounded this absurd, and that was exactly the point. What started as a joke, recording of a man imitating a sputtering motorbike engine, quietly slipped onto the early internet, spreading through ringtones, forums, and message boards long before social media could explain why anyone was sharing it. It wasn't musical, it wasn't serious, and it certainly wasn't meant to become famous. Then producers attached the noise to a remix of the Beverly Hills Cop theme, created a hyperactive blue cartoon mascot, and released it into the world almost as a dare. What followed felt impossible to stop. Axel F shot to number 1 across Europe, flooded television screens, and embedded itself into the childhood memories of millions, while equally driving parents and critics insane. Love it or hate it, the most irritating sound of the 2000s became one of its most unforgettable anthems. Number 8. My Ding-a-Ling by Chuck Berry.
My ding-a-ling, want you to play with my ding-a-ling.
Even one of rock and roll's true pioneers couldn't resist turning a childish joke into a performance.
When I was a little bitty boy, my grandmother bought me a cute little toy.
For years, Chuck Berry treated My Ding-a-Ling as nothing more than playful stage humor, built on simple call-and-response singing and cheeky double meanings that made audiences laugh louder than they listened.
Silver bells hanging on a string, she told me it was my ding-a-ling-a-ling-o.
It wasn't written to be serious, meaningful, or even important within his legendary catalog.
Oh my, oh my.
Under Iance. But something unexpected happened when he recorded it live in front of a crowd fully willing to join the joke. The laughter, shouting, and shared mischief transformed the song from novelty entertainment into a moment people wanted to relive again and again.
Then Mama took me to grammar school, but I stopped off in the vestibule.
Against all expectations, the playful tune climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the biggest commercial hit of Barry's career. Sometimes the silliest joke on stage becomes the one history remembers most.
Jumped in and grabbed my bells and string and pulled me to shore by my ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Number 7, The Bad Touch by Bloodhound Gang.
Sweat, baby, sex is a Texas drought me.
By the late 1990s, pop music was becoming louder, flashier, and increasingly obsessed with shock value.
Would sing about, so put your hands down my pants.
The Bad Touch began as a deliberate joke about that trend, packed with absurd metaphors, awkward humor, and a beat that felt more like a cartoon version of club music than a serious single. The band expected laughs, maybe controversy, but nothing lasting. And yet, the reaction quickly escaped the joke itself. The chorus spread through clubs, radio, and late-night television, repeated by listeners who didn't always understand the satire, but couldn't forget the sound. What was written to mock pop culture suddenly became part of it. The song climbed international charts, sold millions, and turned a throwaway parody into the band's defining global hit. Sometimes the fastest way to expose the machine is to accidentally become one of its biggest successes. Number 6, Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. The idea sounded too ridiculous to survive beyond a single night.
I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand.
During a relaxed drinking session with friends, someone jokingly suggested writing a song about a werewolf casually roaming the streets of London.
Werewolves of London.
Instead of dismissing it, Zevon leaned into the absurd image, building a track around strange humor, cinematic details, and a piano riff so simple it felt almost accidental.
You hear him howling around your kitchen door.
No one expected the joke to travel very far. The lyrics were playful, the concept borderline silly, and the tone far removed from the darker songwriting Zevon was known for. It seemed like a novelty detour rather than a defining moment.
Little old lady got mutilated late last night.
And yet, listeners heard something timeless inside the humor. The unforgettable howl, the steady groove, and the vivid storytelling carried the song onto the charts and deep into popular culture. What began as laughter in a room became the sound the world refused to forget. Number 5, Rock Me Amadeus by Falco. In the mid-1980s, the idea of a German-language pop rap song about Mozart sounded almost impossible to take seriously. Falco imagined the classical composer not as a distant historical genius, but as a rebellious rock star moving through fame, scandal, and excess. It was playful, theatrical, and far removed from what mainstream pop radio usually embraced. What made the experiment stranger was how confidently it ignored expectations. The mix of rap rhythms, rock energy, and classical references created something that felt unconventional, even within European pop. Many believed the concept was simply too unusual to travel beyond a niche audience. And yet, the song broke every assumption. Rock Me Amadeus surged to number 1 in the United States, the United Kingdom, and across Europe, turning a seemingly eccentric idea into a worldwide phenomenon. A joke about history had rewritten history itself. Number 4, Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles. The band never expected this song to define them. When the demo first appeared, it sounded playful, almost disposable, built around a strange visual joke inspired by passengers trying to keep their balance on a moving ferry. The poses looked like figures from ancient Egyptian paintings, awkward, frozen, and oddly funny. It felt more like a novelty than a future hit. Recording it didn't change that feeling. Verses were split between members, drum machines replaced a live groove, and uncertainty hung over the entire session. Nothing suggested cultural impact. Nothing suggested history.
Slide feet up the street, bend your back, shift your arm, then you pull it back.
Then the world heard it. Within months, the song sat at #1 in America, sparked a global dance craze, and stamped its gestures into pop culture forever. The track they doubted most became the one nobody could forget, turning hesitation into immortality. Number 3, Ballroom Blitz by Sweet. Disaster struck before the music truly began. During a 1973 show in Scotland, the crowd turned restless. Bottles flew toward the stage, and the band was forced to retreat mid-performance, unsure whether the night would end in silence or violence. It felt less like a concert and more like a moment they would rather forget. But memory has a strange way of reshaping fear. Instead of hiding the chaos, Sweet rebuilt it in sound, pounding drums, shouted voices, and a sense of tension ready to explode. The danger of that night became pure theatrical energy. Once released, Ballroom Blitz surged onto international charts and into rock history. A performance that collapsed in confusion returned as an anthem of adrenaline, proving that even panic can be transformed into power. Number 2, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet by Bachman Turner Overdrive. This song was never supposed to leave the studio. Randy Bachman recorded it quickly as a private joke for his brother Gary, exaggerating the stutter in the vocal just to make him laugh. The take was rough, slightly off-key, and filled with small imperfections, exactly the kind of track bands usually hide, not release. But when the record label heard it, they heard something completely different. What sounded like a throwaway joke suddenly felt memorable, catchy, and strangely alive. Against the band's own expectations, the song was pushed onto the album and released as a single.
So I took what I could get, yes I took what I could get, and then she looked at me with a big red eye.
The reaction was immediate. It shot to #1 in both the United States and Canada, becoming the band's biggest hit and the moment most listeners would remember forever. The recording meant for one person ended up belonging to millions. Number 1, I Can't Drive 55 by Sammy Hagar.
When there's too much traffic, I can't pass no.
Not every anthem begins in a studio. This one began on the side of a highway. After being pulled over for speeding in upstate New York, Sammy Hagar turned pure frustration into a simple phrase scribbled on paper. I can't drive 55. It sounded more like a complaint than the start of a classic rock hit. Yet the honesty inside that irritation carried real energy. When the song exploded with roaring guitars and defiant attitude, drivers everywhere recognized the feeling instantly, the urge to push past limits, rules, and expectations. What started as a bad day behind the wheel transformed into something louder and far more universal. Soon, the track climbed the charts, dominated MTV, and became Hagar's defining solo anthem. A speeding ticket that should have been forgotten instead accelerated straight into rock history, proving that even a moment of annoyance can ignite a song the world refuses to slow down. Some of the biggest moments in music history didn't begin with ambition, brilliance, or careful design. They began with laughter, accidents, strange ideas, and songs no one expected to matter. Oh, and yet those very moments slipped past doubt, crossed borders, and settled into memory, proving that popularity doesn't always follow logic. These 10 tracks remind us that music isn't only shaped by genius. Sometimes it's shaped by chance, humor, and the courage to release something imperfect into the world. What sounds ridiculous today might become tomorrow's anthem. Ishimimaro. If you enjoyed uncovering these unexpected stories behind global hits, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which silly song you think deserved a place on this list.